เน็กวันนี้นะคะเราจะต่อสายตรงไปพูดคุยกับนักข่าวที่เมืองย่างกุ้งในประเทศเมียนมาค่ะคุณเดวิดตุนอยู่ในสายกับเราแล้วค่ะ So what is the story you have for us today?
Well, the story is I got to talking with a artist, a comic book artist actually. Yeah, comic book artist that shall I say that had made it and is now working in the Japan comic book industry.
That's a big thing for a comic artist anywhere to be able to work internationally.
Yeah, I believe so, especially in a country like Japan where they call it mangaka and you know the comic book industry is a huge thing over there.
Right.
And the comic books are well known internationally all over the world. So especially for artists from a developing country to get a chance to work there and be a part of the industry there is quite an achievement, I should say. Yeah.
So how did he get there?
Well, actually, he was already an artist. I would say he was already fairly well known here. And he was already providing his own lessons. He was a lecturer for one of the better well-known art-related, design-related private schools in Myanmar, in Yangon, actually. He has his own outsourcing studio where he will draw and design things for the clients, right? So he got the Japanese connection from working through his own studio. And as far as I'm told, one of the clients invited him to be a part of the comic book industry in Japan.
Wow. So does he have to relocate there or he can work from Myanmar?
He actually did relocate. He is now living in Tokyo, Japan. I guess he was fairly lucky too because he left before February.
So how is he doing in Japan?
He says he's learning a lot of things. His main wish is for the local comic book industry in Myanmar to be a much more robust industry that will support artists, not only the famous artists or the very senior artists, right? For industry to be there needs to be a more, shall I say, more structured kind of, rather than a rockstar kind of deal.
Right.
So what he wants to do is he will be working there and then he wishes for through his connection or through other people's connections, he wishes for artists still living here locally in Myanmar, in Yangon, to be able to enjoy access to more jobs, I guess. Yeah, because
Right.
The main thing about artists in Myanmar is that except for a few industries, it's very hard to actually maintain income or get income as an artist, comic book artist.
I think everywhere though, as a comic book artist, everywhere in the world, it's not easy to actually make it a main income.
That is definitely true. In Myanmar, it's especially more so because right now you could say that the whole world in general have moved from actual physical books to more digital online things, right? So Myanmar adapted fairly quickly, but there are certain infrastructures that are still kind of weak and in terms of consumer knowledge, like you have to pay for the art that you enjoy online, right? So most people are used to just taking it for free. That's on the consumer side. And on the other side, there are not a lot of, shall I say, systems that are more accommodating towards comic book artists that want to be they want to put their work out there on the internet, right? So in Korea, there are the webtoons, which is fairly popular, and in Japan there are similar kind of apps and platforms. In Myanmar, there is none locally yet. There have been attempts to do so, but the payments structure and everything is fairly hard for people to sustain on the service.
So are you talking about it's an issue of making it commercially viable, and also intellectual property, I guess?
Yes, definitely, yes.
I think that probably will come much later. I mean, as of now, what's going on in Myanmar?
Yeah, definitely things have taken several steps backwards in terms of progressing in that kind of fields. But I myself and the artist I talked to, he believes that they have achieved so much in relatively short time. So if we get the opportunity again, the artists here will definitely be able to bounce back because they are resilient. I will assume he definitely wants to be back in his own country where he himself and other artists, whether it's senior or junior, whatever, if the industry if there is an actual industry, shall I say that? Yeah.
Right.
So he will want to move back, but right now, for him to move back, he and other more well-known artists will have to work their butts off, basically, to connection and to get more businesses aware of
Right.
what the artists can do for their business.
Well, thank you very much. That is a very nice success story of a local artist that make it to international stage. I mean, manga in Japan, there's nothing more original than manga in Japan. เอาละค่ะสำหรับแฟนคนไทยหลายๆคนที่ชอบอ่านการ์ตูนแมงกาหรือว่าคอมิกบุ๊กของญี่ปุ่นนะคะได้ยินเรื่องราววันนี้แล้วก็ถือว่าเป็นเรื่องราวที่น่าสนใจเป็นความสำเร็จของศิลปินท้องถิ่นในเมียนมาที่สามารถไปทำงานในอุตสาหกรรมการ์ตูนแมงกาในญี่ปุ่นได้นะคะและนั่นก็คือทั้งหมดในอาเซียนคอนเนควันนี้ค่ะ